Welcome to the grand finale of this Explainer series. We've spent a lot of time exploring how visual media works, but today we're handing you the ultimate toolkit. Honestly, it's kind of like handing you the secret cheat codes to the internet. Our goal here? To help you stop being just a passive scroller absorbing whatever pops up on your feed and start analyzing media like a true expert. All right, let's dive right in because what you learn today is going to completely change how you look at the screen in your pocket.
Okay, picture this. You look at a post, you see 10 million views, and you automatically think, wow, no way, this must be an absolute masterpiece. But let's pause for a second. That massive number, it literally only measures eyeballs. It tracks how many people clicked, maybe entirely by accident while dropping their phone. It tells you absolutely nothing about the actual worth or quality of the piece. To figure out true value, we need a totally different set of tools, and that's exactly what we're going to build right now. Which brings us to Section 1, Viral Doesn't Mean Good.
Look, most of what we watch every single day is just cheap entertainment. And honestly, there is absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying it for exactly what it is. But if you pay close attention, your generation is actually witnessing a completely new art form being born right now in these short vertical formats, just like cinema and comics before it. But we need to clear up a major digital illusion right away. Something being trendy or going viral is definitely not the same thing as it being truly good, modern, or artistic. Viral just means it spreads like wildfire. Good means it actually has lasting value. Don't mix the two up just because everyone in your group chat is spamming the exact same link.
All right, Section 2, Signs of True Art.
So, since art is always changing, keep these 8 signs of quality in mind, but you really got to pay attention to the nuances here. Take grandeur, for instance. That doesn't just mean having a massive budget. More explosions do not equal more grandeur. Or take order. That means discovering a creator's master plan. It's the exact opposite of just a well-paced jumble of random clips. You also want to look for well-treated content, living characters that feel real, and a deep understanding of genre rules. If it's a gaming stream or an unboxing, judge it by how cleverly it plays by or completely twists the rules of that specific style. And that brings us to the idea of truth in media. Seriously, beware of social media's fabricated authenticity. We have all seen those supposedly spontaneous prank videos that were clearly rehearsed like 10 times over. Artistic truth isn't really about whether a prank literally happened exactly as shown. It's about whether the piece rings true to the human experience, and if it was crafted honestly. Originality is another huge sign. When you're judging a piece of media against a massive wave of internet trends, ask yourself, what does the 10,000th video copying a format actually add to the world? Are they just doing the exact same dance, or are they bringing something totally fresh? The really good creators use a trend merely as a springboard to launch brand new ideas. They don't just pour themselves into the exact same old mold as everybody else. Then there's emotion. A good piece of work can and should genuinely move you. But remember that social media relies heavily on what we can call industrial sentimentality. You know exactly what I mean. Those videos with the sad, dramatic piano music scientifically designed to make you cry in 15 seconds flat. Yeah, that is industrial sentimentality. It's built simply to generate clicks and comments. Just because a clip makes you feel something doesn't make it art. Sometimes it just means the creator knows exactly which psychological buttons to mash. Let's move on to Section 3, 3 questions of intention. Unlike a viewer back in 1970 who only had like 3 TV channels, you have an infinite feed. You need a defense mechanism. So before you blindly accept a piece of media, ask a question number 1. Who gains what from this? You gotta play detective and interrogate the hidden motives behind the screen. Is there a sneaky, undisclosed sponsorship? Are they trying to sell you something or subtly push some kind of propaganda? Always, always follow the benefit. Question number 2, is it real? In an era where digital manipulation is literally everywhere, you must constantly question the reality of what you're seeing. Check if the footage was maliciously edited or stripped of its original context just to make you mad, or if the whole thing is completely generated by artificial intelligence. Trust your eyes, sure, but verify with your brain. And the final question, why is the algorithm showing it to me right now? Please don't fool yourself into thinking someone handpicked this specific clip for your own personal growth. Ask yourself why a mindless, profit-driven machine chose to slide this exact piece of media onto your screen. Spoiler alert here, it doesn't care about you. It just wants to keep your eyeballs glued to the app for another 3 seconds. Okay, Section 4, the 6-phase method. Think of this as your ultimate hacking tool for media. Whether it's a massive 2-hour movie or a 10-second short,
This method, which actually comes straight from classic literary analysis, is your blueprint. First step, knowing. Watch the piece attentively, no multitasking, and watch it twice. First, to feel the trick. Second, to see exactly how they pulled it off. Second step, locate its context. Third, reduce the theme down to just 2 sentences. Fourth, map out the structure, find the hook and the climax. Fifth, analyze the technical form. And finally, step 6, bring it all together to compose your own independent conclusion.
Let's zoom in on step 5 for a sec, the form, because this is where the magic really happens. Notice that analyzing the form isn't just about nerding out and listing the expensive camera gear they used. It's asking exactly why they chose that specific close-up shot, that moody lighting, that crazy fast-cutting rhythm, or that specific suspenseful song. Every single technical choice is a deliberate attempt to directly influence your brain. Finally, section 5, write it well. So why does all this analysis even matter? Because once you master how to read visual media like this, nobody can easily fool you ever again. Not a brand, not an influencer, not an algorithm. And the beautiful secret is, by learning to critically read these formats, you naturally learn how to create them yourself. 50 years ago, a guy named Cándido Fernández wrote a little book specifically so the teenagers of his time could learn to decode classic cinema. We are doing the exact same thing today. The screens might have shrunk down to fit in your pocket, but the core principles and the visual language, they haven't changed one bit. You now possess the expert tools to deeply understand the absolute most influential medium of your generation. You're no longer just a passive viewer. You are a fluent speaker of this visual language. So go out there, speak this language with purpose. And most importantly, when it's your turn to create, write it well. So the next time you open your feed, are you going to be the algorithm's puppet or the one pulling the strings?